Alright, hello ICBBL guys, and to every coach who is watching, and all Blood Bowl fans, of course. ICBBL Season 6 Week 1 has just rolled over, so we've had our first week in both the Steel League and in the Pyramid, the Bronze, Silver and Gold League. I'm going to do a rundown of both leagues, starting with Steel. There will be two separate videos, I think, because the workload is a bit less heavy that way. I'm also going to have a quick look at Tinfoil, which is going to finish tomorrow at about 12 PM UTC, where we will be doing live coverage of the final match between our two coaches, Undo and Saima. Should be one to watch, where our big boss and myself will be doing commentary on the final play. But first of all, let's have a look at the Steel and run down the league and the first week. So starting with Division A. Schedule for Week 1, so we've had 3 games. Nurgle Babies played Uncancelled Scalebound, Skin Diseases played Judgment of the Worthy, and Dead and Loving It played Rotten Fang Runners. I'm doing this mostly to get it into my own head, but I'm going to go through it team by team. Starting with Urban Zorro's Dead and Loving It Necro team. This one ended up being a draw. I don't think they actually managed to play the game in the end. Oh no, they did play this game, sorry. No, they played this game, definitely. So we had Undead against Necromantic, and it looks like we had a pretty close game with 1-1 draw. All of these games were, of course, rookie teams. All these teams were, of course, rookie teams when they first started. We had 1 touchdown, 1 pass, 5 armor breaks, and 1 expulsion, of course for this one, from Urban Zorro. And Daddy Mercury, my favourite of his zombies, got man of the match. And for Rotten Fang Runners, we had a touchdown, a pass, and 9 armor breaks. And SPP in general, it went more in favour of Rotten Fang Runners, but it's pretty nice for both teams. I mean, we've got 10, and we've got 6, 11, 12, 15. 15 is very nice for a first game. So having a look at the team itself, they had no level ups, of course, but we do have Daddy Mercury in range. We have a zombie out next match. Is it a niggle or is it just a miss next game? Just miss next, okay. And Werewolves did get some points, including a pass, which is very nice. Well done, Urban. And the White managed to score the touchdown, apparently. So we managed to get a fan factor as well, which would have been an improvement. Did we take a sponsor? No. Okay, then. This first week is going to be a little bit lacking in the department of... It's going to be a little bit lacking in the content department, and it is quite late at night, so I'm doing this while not really at my best. Next week, though, I do hope to have a co-host who can help me do this, so we can get a little bit more content out of it. I think the Bronze, Silver, and Gold will be a bit more interesting because the teams are more developed, but Steel itself, we're just going to basically have a look to see how people have done. Urban is a regular, and he managed to draw his first match, and his first match, as we just saw, was against Judgment of the Worthy, which is... no, it wasn't against them, sorry. Rotten Fang Runners, that's the one. Which was against Hoy, who is not... or Godric Gunnison, who is not yet a regular, but it is his second season here. And he managed to get an extra 10 in team value, so let's see how his team did. He also picked up a fan factor, yep. So we've got 1 zombie in range as well, of course, because that was the man of the match. We got 2 on another zombie who did some damage. We had a pass from another werewolf. I like this game, I don't know why I missed it. A ghoul scored. There's a ghoul in this team. Whoops. And some more damage. Flesh Golem actually managed to do some damage, which is good news for him. 1 werewolf, 1 ghoul against the 2 werewolf team. Did we take a sponsor? No. Okay. And the second week. Sorry, wrong page. The second game, we had Nurgle Babies. That's the one. This was the first game, actually. Nurgle Babies, which was the, of course, Nurgle team, managed to draw against the Lizards' Uncancelled Scalebound. So we've got 1 touchdown and 6 armor breaks for the pink Nurgle. Horrible colour for Nurgle, but never mind. And 1 touchdown, 6 armor breaks for the Lizardman. So let's have a look at the SPP in general. We had man of the match on Warrior, which you just saw. And I'm not sure what this is, but I guess it's a Pestigore scored the touchdown. And then we have, this looks like a Saurus and 2 skinks, but we will check when we're looking at the team itself. So let's have a look at the Noble team, let's see how they did in general. Just those 2 level ups. So we had Noble Warrior and a Pestigore. Yes, and they also managed to pick up a Fan Factor. So nothing too exciting from Noble yet, but it'll be interesting to see how they develop as the weeks go on. And they were playing against Uncancelled Scalebound, which is Dranrab. I forgot to mention the coach. Let's go back. The coach was Pixie Dust, also known as Mint, also known as something else that I can't remember. He has 3 names. So back to the Lizards though, coached by Dranrab. So he had 3 level ups, not level ups, 3 SPPs, and the Croxagore got the damage, not the Saurus actually. So yeah, 2 Skinks and Crocs got some SPP. Nothing too exciting there so far either, but they managed to get a Fan Factor as well. Fan Factor helps if you have more than your opponent, doesn't help much if you have the same. Then we had the High Elves, who faced off against Khemri, and Khemri won. That's impressive, but okay. Blitzra got Man of the Match, which is great news for the Khemri team, and Blitzer got Man of the Match for High Elves, which is also great news for the High Elves. 1 touchdown, 3 passes. 3 passes. 1 death, that's a shame. 1 expulsion, lots of fouling in this game, and 6 armor breaks. Against 2 touchdowns, 13 armor breaks, and the expulsion. And SPP in general, very much on the side of Khemri, though they did alright, the High Elves, with 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns, really? I thought it's a 2-1. So maybe a pass and an injury for 1 and a touchdown. Yeah, that sounds like it. And most valued player. And then most valued player, 2 lots of damage, and I guess the 2 touchdowns went both to High Priest of Amun. So having a look at the elves themselves then, they got battered. Look at that. Wow. That's 3 players gone. I guess that 3 players gone, 2 of them were permanent injuries that got fired. 90,000 could replace one of the lost pieces, though not replacing the Blitzer. You're better off buying the Apothecary probably, I guess, but it's of course up to you. And this is now a full 70. He has a second name as well, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. So that looked like a painful match for the High Elves. And the Khemri team, they kept their entire pieces. They got a Fan Factor. We've got a zombie with the Man of the Match, of course, another zombie with the 2, Werewolf got the 1, Flesh Golem got 2, and Ghoul and White got 3 and 2 respectively. So no level ups at all in Division A. Having a look at the leaderboard so far then, with all 3 games played, Khemri topped the board. Yeah, they're the only team that managed to win. Then we have all of the teams that drew. And of course, High Elf unfortunately are at the bottom, but hopefully they can turn that around, though I did think this was going to be a very tough actually, group for the High Elf team. Having a look at next week though, we have Nurgle Babies, which is the Nurgle team, against Rotten Fang Runners, which is one of the two necromantic teams. It's the one coached by Hui, and it's the one with the wolf and the ghoul. Judgment of the Worthy, which are this Khemri team that managed to get their first win against the necromantic Dead and Loving It from Urban Zorro, who is the most regular coach in this league. Judgment of the Weary actually is from Varkson, which is also a regular in this league. Whereas the Nurgle Babies, Uncancelled Scalebound, and Skin Diseases, I think these are all fairly new coaches to the league. They may have had one, they may not have had one. Rotten Fang Runners from Hui, it's his second season for certain. And we have the Uncancelled Scalebound, which is Lizards against the High Elves. That's not really a very fun second match after being battered by Khemri, but hopefully they have a better game next time. That's it for Division A. Having a look at Division B then. Division B. So, we had Paws of Fury against Purple Blurple. Paws of Fury managed to win. Uber Gothy Hose had a really bad game against Rivertown Cheese Monsters. They're 2 of our most regular coaches in this league. We've got Chris J and Ook. So Chris J managed to really do some damage to Ook. And Dede who managed to beat Fistelin and Fisters. Let's have a look at the teams themselves though, starting with Chris J, who managed to get that 3-0 win. Let's have a look at the match first. It's Chris J's first season playing Skaven. He hasn't played Skaven a lot, so it apparently went very well. But Ook hasn't played Dark Elves at all either, so they're both fairly new to the teams that they are playing respectively. The Dark Elves managed 1 pass and 6 armor breaks, and the Rats managed 3 touchdowns and 12 armor breaks. That's a very good starting game for the Skaven. Wow, look at that. So we got the man of the match that was a blitzer, and we have a pass from one of the other pieces. We'll find out what it is when we look at the team. And then we have man of the match on the line rat, and yeah, lots of points. We'll have a look at the team itself, but that's 5, 11, 16, 18 SBP in game 1. That's pretty impressive. Well done, Chris. Having looked at the team itself then, all 11 pieces are fine, no damage done, but no, only the one level up, a gutter runner, and the gutter runner's been given block, so that's a scary gutter runner already. I quite like this free gutter runner system. It looks quite nice. I think Chris has done pretty well making that decision. He obviously didn't want the MVP on the lineman, because you want the other pieces to level up before the linemen do, but no big deal. He's managed to buy an apothecary. I can't remember if he started with it or if he's bought it. I guess he started with it because 80,000. Not sure what he's going to do with the extra. It's going to be interesting to see. And I should have probably done some predictions for the matches. I'm just thinking when I'm doing this. I'll do that. I'll go back and do that in a second. And Storm Vermin and Rat Ogre managed to get a little bit of SPP, so they're a little bit closer to their level up. And they're playing the Uber Gothios, who don't look too broken. They did actually make a change though. They bought an assassin in the end. 1 injury, Blitzer, minus strength. That's maybe fired. Though you're probably better off buying your apothecary before you try and replace any pieces, and you can't replace any pieces anyway. But apothecary seems like the obvious choice here. Playing with 1 lineman next game. And who did the pass? A lineman managed the pass, and we have the 5 on the Blitzer that is not injured. So better luck to Ook next week. Then we'll have a look at Fistelin and the Fisters from Moranis. We do have a level up. All of the SPP went to 1, it looks like. They lost their game against Dead Air. 1 touchdown, 8 armor breaks, and Zombie with man of the match. And 16 armor breaks only, and Longbeard with man of the match, and I guess an injury. So 5 to 5. These two are both definitely ghouls, so I guess that's a score and an injury and an injury. Right, having a look at the team itself, the dwarf team. So Fister number 6 has become the most valued player. Good thing that he's a very useful number, and he's managed to get plus strength, so he rolled a 12 on his first level up. That's quite scary on a dwarf actually. And he's already paid for the apothecary, it looks like. Unless he was missing a team reroll. No, he's probably paid for the apothecary. And they were playing against I didn't look at the coach, sorry. The coach was Rams, I did mention it. Okay. And Flip Dog, who is new to the league, and his Dead Air. He got a little bit of SPP. The Ghoul got the 5 but not the man of the match. The Zombie got the man of the match with 5. And Lim Ripper, like I said, they're both ghouls, yes. He's got 40,000. He could buy 1 more piece. He's maybe bought this skeleton actually. I don't think he had 12 pieces when we first looked at the team, but he can buy 1 more anyway. 1 more skeleton or 1 more zombie. And yeah, that's about it for this team actually. Can't say much more. So well done, Flip Dog. Unlucky Roanus. And then we have Purple Blurple, who is Cheshi's team. And they played against Paws of Fury. And we've got 1 touchdown, 1 pass, 1 death, and 4 armor breaks from the Rats. And 1 death, 20 armor breaks. This was a deadly match, obviously. Wow, look at all that SPP. Jeez. Okay, so we got 5, 10, 13 against 11. That's a high-scoring game in terms of SPP for both teams. Let's have a look at the actual teams, though. Let's see what happened. So Purple Blurple. I think that's a dead rotter. I might be wrong though. think he only started with 3 warriors and 1 Pestigore, so that's a dead rotter, I'm pretty sure. So we've got Beast of Nurgle with 2, Pestigore with 2, Nurgle warriors have both got SPP as well, and none of the rotters. It's a pretty good start for Nurgle. It's pretty much where you want all your SPP to be. And then for Paws of Fury, the Rat team from Top Hat. Top Hat is a very long-standing coach we have here. He lost... what did he lose? It looks like he lost a Line Rat. I think there were only 2 Gutter Runners. I don't think there was a Rat over it, so it looks like he's lost a Line Rat in the match. Nobody's telling me about the obituary. We have an obituary in this league, guys, so let me know when pieces are dying, how they're dying, etc, etc. I'll add it to the obituary that we have. So we have a 2 on the Storm Vermin, we have a 3 on a Gutter Runner, and we have 1 on a Thrower, and then MVP on a Rat. Again, not really what you want for the Rats. And it looks like they've bought an Apothecary. He can replace that dead lineman if he wants to. I guess he's going to wait to see what he's up against this week, though, because he probably hasn't had a look yet. So, having a look at the matches then, we have the Ubergothy Hose, which is a Dark Elf team against the second Skaven team. So that's Oog versus Top Hat. Purple Blurple from Yeshi versus Dead Air. Flitdog. Flitdog is new to the league. Purple Blurple... Yeshi is a coach who's been around a while, but he hasn't really been playing Blood Bowl. So he's been part of our community for a very long time, playing lots of different games, and he's very well known, very well liked, but he's not a very veteran coach. And Chris J's Rivertown Cheese Monsters are against Fistel and the Fisters from Moranis. If I was to put money on the games, I would go in favour of Top Hat simply because I think Oog is going to be hurting a bit from the last game against Rats, and, well, he's not really a Dark Elf coach, it's a new team, whereas Top Hat I think has more experience playing Skaven. Purple Blurple versus Dead Air, I can see this being a draw, actually, because we have Necromantic, or were they Undead? No, Undead against Nurgle, which is a match that often goes to a draw. And this one's hard. Dwarfs against Skaven is always hard to predict. It very much depends on the dice, but I don't know Moranis too well. I do know Chris J is a very competent coach, and considering that he'll be on a high from his first win, I'll just edge the win to Chris J. So I like Paws of Fury, draw, Rivertown Cheese Monsters next week. Let's see if I'm correct with that. And I just realised I didn't actually look at the standing. Back to B. This will be better next week, I hope. I'm doing this for the first time without a script. So we've got the 3 winners at the top, of course. They're all in pretty much the same rank at the moment. And we've got the 3 losers at the bottom, of course. And going back to A, let's just have a look at the matches and make some predictions. Because at the end of the day, that's what you want to hear, really, isn't it? So Nurgle Babies, who is coached by Mint against Rotten Fang Runners. I don't remember who the coach was. Let's just check that very quickly. Oh yeah, Hoy. Okay, sorry, Hoy. I don't know much about Mint. I do know that Hoy is a very competent coach. Can't say for sure. Mint has admitted that he's a middle of the range in terms of length of play, not in terms of skill. I can't say anything about his skill, but in terms of length of play, he has said he's a mid-range coach. So I will give the win to Hoy, just because I think he has a little bit more hours under him in this game. Judgment of the Worthy, which was the Khemri team led by Varkson, against Dead and Loving It, which is Urban Zorro. Oh, that's a hard game to predict. I'll go for a draw with this matchup, I think. And Uncancelled Scalebound, oh, don't remember the coach. Dranrab, I don't know much about Dranrab. Against Skin Diseases, I don't see the High Elves getting out of this league alive, so I'd like to give High Elves a chance, but I don't like High Elves against Lizards. I think Lizards will take this game, unless they manage to get a really good play in, which I don't know any of these coaches, so that's a pretty much blind prediction. And having a look at B then, not B, having a look at Division C, we've already done B. So we had Organic Food, Prince of Hell. This was my game against Yasinde, and Yasinde managed to completely thrash me. The video is actually in the library if you do want to see it. It was a very deadly game. The dice did go in the favour of Yasinde a little bit, but well, he won fair and square, no doubt about that. The less I say about this game, the better. I don't actually know this coach. Let's have a look. Yeah, Gabe Newell against Lucas Kohler. Yeah, I'm going to skip over this one. There was a bit of controversy with this game, that's all I'll say, and I'll leave it at that. And Arizona Wildfire against ICBBL Kill All Men's. That's the High Elf coach, not High Elf, Wood Elf coach Scuff against Dark Physicist with his Kill All Men's. Let's have a look at the games themselves then, starting with my team. So, Organic Food managed to thrash me 2-0. They had 2 touchdowns, they had 11 armor breaks, 2 of which were deaths, and they had the 1 expulsion from the foul. It was his first foul, the piece was sent off immediately, but it didn't really help me. And we had 2 deaths and 3 armor breaks. That's not good stats for a Chaos team, as you can see. The only SPP I got was on my dead beast, but the Orcs did very well. We'll have a look at the team and see how they did, but they don't have any level ups at all. So, having a look at my team first of all, I'm basically just 2 pieces down. I didn't have enough to buy a piece, but I did buy the Apothecary, so hopefully I won't lose 2 pieces next game as well, though you never know. I'm going to actually rearrange my team very quickly when I'm here as well, though I may leave the gap here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, don't have anything else to say about my team at this point. We're going to struggle to recover from this match, though I hope we can do at least a little bit. And our opponent was Organic Food, Yasinde, with these Orcs. And the SPP is pretty spread out, so we've got all 4 blitzers. Wow. All 4 blitzers are within range of getting a level up next game, and 2 Black Orcs got 2 each. So that's a fantastic start for the Orcs, and they brought the Apothecary. They didn't have that before. Okay, well done Yasinde, you've just become very scary. And let's have a look at the Flagellant Flailers. This is the team led by Lucas Kohler. And so the Bull Centaur actually leveled up. Yeah, got MVP and also managed to do some damage in the last game. And we have... well, he hasn't chosen yet. He's probably going to ask the community soon. I would recommend on a Bull Centaur, depends what you want to use it for. If you want to use it for battle, and give it Mighty Blow. If you want to use it for anything like ball carrying, then Sure Hands is the way to go. Block is obviously a choice as well. And Hobgoblin got the other MVP, and we've got a 1 from this Hobgoblin, which managed to pass. So, well done, Lucas. Well played. And he has managed to buy the Apothecary, and he also has 90,000 cash. So whoever has him next, I'm pretty sure that's me, is going to have a bit of a tough match. And the Valhallan Brewing Company. So, yeah, no SPP at all. We're starting fresh team, and we don't have enough for an Apothecary either. So he's going to have a rough match next week. And the last match, Dark Physicist Kill All Men's against Scuff's Arizona Wildfire. So we had a touchdown, 3 passes, and an armor break, 2 touchdowns, 1 pass, and 16 armor breaks. Wow, they had a rough ride. We got 5 and 5, War Dancer and Chaos Warrior. And 1-1-1, all passes, and score. Then a pass, a score with an injury, score, and an injury. Let's have a look at the actual teams. So, starting with this Chaos team, which is much more developed than mine, there are 2 Chaos Warriors that managed to get 5 each. That's bad news for me, because I have to face this team eventually. And 3 Pestigores, 3-2-1, respectively. He has managed to buy the Apothecary as well, so next match is going to be a bit better for him. And the Wood Elf team, it looks like none of the injuries were permanent, so that's good news, and he did manage to buy the Apothecary, though we still only got 1 team roll. Yeah, we want to fix that as soon as possible, I think, maybe next match. If you bought the Apothecary this game, maybe you should have gone for the team reroll instead. Sorry, there's a cat at the door. 1 second. Though the SPP has been pretty spread out. We've got both war dancers with SPP, one with 5, one with 1, and 3 linemen. So good work there. 1 second. Oh, cats are fun. They make editing longer. Yeah, I am back home and I have cats who keep disturbing me, so if they open the door or something when it's this late, I have to shut it. And I am speaking quite quietly, so I hope you can actually hear me. No, that was the wrong button. What are we on C? Yeah, we're on C. Okay, bit lost then, sorry. Back to normal now. Next week then, we've got the Wood Elves versus the Orcs. Ysinde is going to be really happy off the back of his last game, and the Wood Elves struggled so much. I think Ysinde is going to take this game too. I don't know Scuff very well. I don't know him at all, actually. I do know Ysinde. He's a very good coach. He's one of the better coaches in the league. Wouldn't exactly say one of the best necessarily, but certainly one of the better. So, well, it'd be interesting to see how that goes anyway. I don't know anything about Scuff, so can't really comment there. And second game, we have the Norse against the other Chaos team led by Dark Physicist. I'm going to say no comment on this match. And Prince of Hell, which is my Chaos team, against the Flagellant Flailers, the Chaos Dwarves. With Lucas, when it's me and Lucas, it can always go either way because we both play kind of silly against each other. I hope I can get some recovery from the last game, but I'm a bit worried about that leveled up Ball Center, so we'll see how that goes, basically. And the leaderboard so far. Darth, Ysinde, and Lucas Caller all have one win each, they're at the top, and myself, Gabe, and Scuff have all lost our first game, so we are at the bottom. And lastly then, Division D. So, last week we had DONZ, which is led by Andes. I don't remember what it is though, against Crag's, yeah it is Andes, against Krag's Crushers. I think this is Necromantic against, do I actually know what Krag's Crushers are? I think they're Orc, but we'll find out in a minute. Krag's Crushers came in late. It's one of the coaches from the Rebel League. I don't know how to say his name. He's going to have to tell me at some point, but I'm going to call it Keruz now, and he can correct me, hopefully, as soon as possible, so I can get that fixed. He did come in very late, but he did manage to win his first game, so congratulations there, and unlucky Andy. Andy's is the coach that I always say is the best coach in the league. I still stand by that, even though he lost his match this week. It looks like Keruz is a very good coach too, so fair enough. And then in the second game we had Cheese Demons, which is something spelt wrong, against Nightmare on Elf Street. And I don't remember the coach. And Touch New Bulls, who is Rylock, against Slightly Salty Luces, which is Undo, or Blashrook. So that must have been a good game to watch, and we had a draw there. Let's have a look at the teams themselves then, starting with Nightmare on Elf Street, led by Anders. Yes, sorry Anders, I couldn't remember you. Having a look at their game then, the 2-1. The Rats, led by Something, managed to win 2-1 against Nightmare on Elf Street, the Dark Elves. It's not a good week for Rats versus Dark Elves on the Dark Elf side. Both Dark Elf teams have lost. 2 touchdowns, 1 pass, and 11 armor breaks. Wow, from the Rats. And 1 touchdown, 1 pass, and 12 armor breaks. Wow, from the Dark Elves. When you're playing this matchup, it is mostly about doing damage, to be fair. It's how you get an edge against the opposition, so fair play to both coaches. We have an 11. An 11 on Gouda, who is the man of the match. Gutterunny you can see here, so that's a level up. And 1 on something else that managed to pass. Then we have an 8 who also managed to do the score. Yeah, 5 plus 3 is 8. Which is the Witch Elf, and Pennywise, not sure they got the second score. So let's have a look at the actual teams, starting with the Dark Elves. So the Witch has leveled up and been given Block. And the Runner, there's a Runner in this team, nice. There's some more common setup, though still only 1 reroll. It's risky, guys. You should be looking at 2 rerolls really, starting off with Dark Elves. Though I'm not one to speak really, because I'm pretty bad at doing rerolls too. And nothing else has got any kind of SPP. He has paid for the Apothecary though, and he has 60,000 left over, which he may be able to use, though he may be better off keeping it. Okay, and looking at the Rat team then, the Cheese Demons. So, nothing injured. There was nothing injured on the Dark Elf team either. We have 11 on the Gutter Runner, who's been given Block, and 1 on a Thrower, fair enough, on the Thrower. And he's managed to buy the Apothecary too, though I think he started with that. Yeah, again, 1 team reroll, may want to fix that as soon as possible to both teams here. Though, well done to something, unlucky to Anders. Next up we have Slightly Salty Losers, which is Undo or Blashrook. And they were playing against Touching Your Balls. So Wood Elves and Necromantic. Rylock is... I've never actually played him, but I've heard that he's one of the best coaches here, and I tend to trust the word of the people who work around me. Managed 1 touchdown, 2 passes, 4 armor breaks, and an injured lineman with -6 got man of the match and managed to pass, so he's at 6. And the zombie, man of the match with 5, 1 touchdown, 19 armor breaks, and 1 expulsion. Lots of fouling on this side, or at least some fouling on this side. 6-3-1, that's pretty good, and 5-2-2-3, yeah, it's a pretty high SPP match again. Let's have a look at the actual teams then, starting with the Necromantic, Slightly Salty Losers. So we have a 3 on the Werewolf that he managed to score. Flesh Golem managed to do some damage, which is always good news for Necromantic. And Zombies have got MVP and 1 damage. No Apothecary to buy, of course, so they have 50,000 left over. He can buy a zombie if he wants to for next match. And Touch Your Balls. Ooh, Touch Your Balls has 3 injuries. This MVP or niggle? That's MVP, okay, at least one of them wasn't permanent. But we have a minus movement and a minus armor value. This is maybe a fire when you have enough money, though he has gone for the Apothecary first, which is fair enough. And he's managed to roll doubles and got guard on the lineman. Did level up, though he's going to miss him next match, I'm very sure. Though the match after, he's going to be a scary prospect. Minus movement on a lineman that has guard, I mean, that's fine. No need to fire him, really. So, fair enough there. And then we have DONZ, sorry. The Dons. And they were playing against Krogs. Crushers. So we have 1 touchdown, 8 armor break, and MVP on a zombie. 2 touchdowns, 1 pass, 11 armor breaks. That's a lot of armor breaks, good. On a blitzer. Right, let's have a look at the SPP. 10 against 10, 16, 18. 18's fantastic. So obviously there's been a lot more activity on this team than this team last week. I don't think that Andy's is a very big necromantic or undead coach, so these 2 teams are quite new to him. I think he's just testing out some new things. When I played him as both teams, I mean, he won 1 game and he lost 1 game, but I think he played both games perfectly fine, so still one to watch in this league, for sure. Let's have a look at the actual team then. So, we got a 3 on a white, and we got the 2 on a zombie, and of course zombie got MVP. No fan factor. And 40,000, could buy another zombie if he wants to, not sure it's necessary at this point. Depends if he wants to foul or not. And the Orcs then, let's have a look at the Orc team. They got quite a lot of SPP. 2 Black Orcs, both managed an injury each, that's good news. Blitzer got within range with 5 and the MVP. And we have 3 on the second Blitzer who managed to score. Thrower got 4, so he caused 2 injuries in theory, or he scored and he passed. That's more likely, he scored and he passed, I guess. And Lucky, the lineman, nice name. I haven't actually looked at this team, I'll have a look at this team as well. got an injury too, so I guess he went for 4 Black Orcs, 4 Blitzers, thrower, lineman, fairly standard setup for Orcs, and Fruity Murals, and he's bought the Apothecary this game, I guess. That looks like the standard setup, and fair enough. And not sure about the names, maybe they are... No, okay, I'm not sure about the names, though I do like the name Cretin, well done. Though you're asking for him to be killed, that's the only problem with calling a piece something like this. Okie doke. Right, having a look at next week then, we've got Andes against something spelt wrong, Necromantic Rats. Having played both these coaches, I have to go on the side of Andes. Sorry, something you played fine, but Andes is, I think, the best coach. This game I want to watch. Guys, tell me when you're playing it. In fact, I may start casting 1 game a week, kind of like my top pick, and I'm going to pick this one this week, so if you want to be cast, let me know, and I'll watch you guys if we can. And I'm going to call this a draw for now, though it could go either way, to be honest. We've got Wood Elves against Orcs, could really go either way. And Slightly Salted Luces from Undo, and Nightmare on Elf Street. This is a this is Dark Elf. Necro and Dark Elf game. Yeah, I like Undo to go through this round as well. Just need to open the door again. 1 second. Yay, cats. Ooh, gotta edit this a lot. It's annoying, but okay. It's not ready. And that's it for this week. We'll have a quick look at the Hall of Fame. No, it's going to take too long, I guess. After the first week, let's see if my predictions have changed at all. Well, considering how well Varkson played his game, I like Varkson, of course, to go up now. And as second choice for this league, I still think Urban Zorro. Yeah, at the moment I like Urban Zorro and Khemri from Varkson to go up, mostly because these two are just the most experienced coaches. But I don't know, the way they've played as well so far, I think that we're looking pretty good for these two to go up. This game, of course, this week, of course, they're playing each other, so we'll see how that one goes and have a look at it next week. But at the moment, yep, I like these two up. In Steel A still. In Steel B. In Steel B, no, we are looking at this. Chris J has shocked me a bit with his first game, actually, but he's played very well, apparently, so I like Chris J to go up. And as second coach is a bit harder. I think actually both Skaven teams have a good chance of going up, though we'll see how the Dwarves do. We'll keep an eye on the Dwarves, and I think we can still keep an eye on... This one's still wide open, though I like the 2 Rats at the moment. The 2 Rat teams are looking good. In C, in my division, I'm going to count myself out. There's a good chance I'm not going up now. I quite like Dark Physicist to go up, actually, having seen how the first game has gone. So I like Dark Physicist and Ysinde to go up from this league. They're my 2 picks after week 1. And finally in D. In D... yeah, in D there are still many big names, though at the moment I like Krog's Crushers and Touch New Balls. I think these two are going to go up, but these two are playing each other this week. So let's see how that goes. The other option, outside option, I think is Skaven, though I think they need to get a reroll as quickly as possible to be a realistic choice to go up. So these 2 teams I like to go through as it stands. Andy's is an outside chance as well, though he's had a bad start, so hard to say. Anyway, that's it for Steel League, the roundup. It was a lot longer than I wanted it to be, and I will have to edit it a lot, so that's going to be fun. Next week I'm definitely going to do this in the morning after, instead of the evening straight after. I may actually do the pyramid in the morning as well, because this is a bit rough on the old mind. Anyway, thanks for watching if you have got this far. Good luck to you all next week, and let's see where we go and how it goes from here. Thank you very much. May Nuff will smile on you all. See you soon. Bye-bye.